Hello, all of you. My name is Dr. Neha Hamilton, and we are covering this subject called search engine optimization. And in search engine optimization, we are covering the second topic. After the concept, we are covering SEO process. And today's lecture agenda is to make you understand the second last step of SEO process, which is off page optimization, because we have already covered on page optimization in the last class. So in today's class, we are going to cover off page optimization. So let us do a quick recap of SEO process. Uh, we all know what SEO is. SEO is the process of increasing the organic ranking of a particular website or web page in response to a particular keyword on search engine result page, right? So that is called as SEO. When we talk about process of SEO, so this is how the process of SEO looks like, which starts with keyword research, competition research, on page optimization, off page optimization, measuring results, and improving results. So, this diagram is something that you all should remember and draw it in your copies, because this is the most important topic of this subject. In this topic, we actually learn how to go about it, how to begin with search engine optimization. Okay, so keyword research we have already covered, competition analysis we have done, so I'm skipping it. And in the third step, we identify the competitors. We identify the competitors on SpyFu. We do the SEO audit, which is the third step, on raventools.com or SEOoptimizer.com. And then finally, we have come to on-page optimization and off-page optimization. So, in order to increase the ranking of your website, you have to do on-page optimization also, and you have to do off-page optimization also, right? When I talk about on-page optimization, on-page means something which is visible to you, something that you can see on the web page. So, what are the things that you see on the web page? You see a title, you see content, you see images, videos, ads, right? Sitemap is visible. So, you have a lot of things that you see on your page. So, overall, in on page optimization, we are improving the presentation of your web page. It should look good, it should be of importance to the people or the users who are reading it, right? For example, if I'm opening an article on Olympics, right, then in that article, I have to get every information related to Olympics 2021. Who have participated from India, who won medal, who doesn't won medal, what are the new world records that have been created, right? So all those things, I want all the information on a single page. So that is called as on-page optimization. It should be user friendly. It should look good. It should be well organized. It should be well represented. So that is on-page optimization. Now, when I talk about off-page optimization, I am talking about something that is not visible to me on a particular web page. Now, what are those things which are not visible to me? They are actually the links, the linking from the social networking websites, the linking from the other page, right? Because we know that uh, you see in the real life also, if you are a very influential person, then you will have contacts with very influential people or very famous people also. If you yourself are influential, then you will have contacts with very influential people also, right? For example, when I talk about an influential professor, he must be knowing people from IIMs, from MDIs, from NITs, because he himself is influential. So, in the same way, if you want to identify that which is the best page, web page, and when I talk about off page optimization, you will uh, you will find out that from how many pages it is connected to, and what are the quality of those pages from which it is connected to. That's why it is called as off page optimization, because the linking is something which is not visible to me, right? And whatever I can see is called as on page optimization. So what have we covered in on page optimization? We have covered page titles. The page titles should be uh, keyword rich. You have to very diligently find out the keyword which should be relevant to the to your post also, and it should be trending on Google Trends also. So these are the two things that you should keep in mind when you are selecting a page title. The next thing is meta description. So uh, see, why are we learning all these things? Let me give you a broader picture. Okay, you are working as a digital marketing manager, right? Now you have a lot of people who are connected to you to complete this process of search engine optimization. You will have a programmer, you will have a designer, and you yourself as a manager, right? Now you have to give instructions to the programmer and to the designer to do changes on the website to improve the ranking. It is your responsibility as a digital marketing manager to improve the SEO or to optimize the website on a search engine result page. I hope you are understanding the broader picture, right? Why are we learning all these things? You are not somebody who can write codes and who can do programming, right? So the thing is that because you cannot do it, you are provided with people who can do it. So programmer is a person who write codes, who write programs for your website. Now, when he is doing the programming, you have to guide him that uh, if you this should be the title of the page in programming. This should be the title of the page. You decide by using Google Trends and other online platforms. He is a programmer which doesn't understand. Yes, Prabhakar, we will talk about off-page optimization later. But right now, I'm just explaining you that why we are understanding all these things, right? So, for example, Prabhakar is a digital marketing manager, right? He is a MBA in digital marketing, and he wants to. He has been given a task to improve the organic ranking of the website. Now, how will he go about it? He know what the SEO process is. He will be given a team of a programmer and a designer. Now this designer, he make infographics, he makes graphs and charts, or he designs display ads for social media. And but you have to guide him, right? What kind of words should be used in those display ads? What kind of keywords should be used in infographics? You are the person who is going to guide your designer. Now the next person is programmer. Who is programmer? Who writes the codes of your website. You are not a programmer, you do not have technical knowledge of how to write a code, right? So you are going to take help from that programmer. You are going to guide him that look, this should be the title of the page. You do changes in the programming, and this is what the title of the page should look like. this is this is what should appear in the meta description, because these all things are embedded in programming. You have to write that what should be the title of the page in programming. You have to write that what should be the meta description in the programming only, right? So you will guide them that in programming, do changes in page title, meta description, which is a page of on page optimization. Okay, URL structure, again you have to instruct them that change the URL structure, keep it concise, keep it brief, keep it to the point. Okay, then you have body tags. So tell them to add in the content. You will have a content writer also, right? We have a full-time job of content writers for every website. So you have to instruct the writer content writer to write an article that should have more than one, two, three paragraphs, and then tell the programmer that this should be the heading of this paragraph and you should add this in programming, right? So you have to add more and more body tags. Now, why do you add more and more body tags? Because as many body tags or H1, H2, H3 tags you will add in your text, you are giving more scope to the crawlers to come to your website and check it, right? More the headings, more the scope of the crawlers to come on the website and check it. Okay, so that's why higher number of body tags are always recommended whenever you are writing an article. And that's what we tell you when we check your copies. Never write a paragraph, right? For example, this question of SEO process comes. You have to draw the diagram of SEO process, the flow chart. Then you have to describe each and every point with examples and online platforms that we have discussed in class, right? So knowledge is not sufficient. Representing that knowledge in a better way is very important, right? So these are called as body tags, which is a part of on-page optimization. Next, we have to understand keyword density. You do not have to overload your content with keywords and at the same time underload your content with keywords, but you have to use 2 to 5% of keywords in your total content. For example, the keyword in your content is Olympics, right? So if your paragraph is having 100 words, you do not have to use Olympics for more than 5 times or less than 2 times, right? So this is what does it mean. So when the content writer is writing the content, you have to check for the keyword density also, that whether this paragraph has more keywords or not, has appropriate number of keywords or not. This is your responsibility as a digital marketing manager to check the keyword density. आप जब भी अपने वेबसाइट के किसी भी वेब पेज का ऑन पेज ऑप्टिमाइजेशन करेंगे, then it is your responsibility to check that whether the keyword density is appropriate or not. Okay, now the next thing is image SEO, which is also a part of on page SEO. Why? Because it is visible to you, right? Image is something that is visible to you on the web page. So using images within your content is a great way to make your website visually appealing. Definitely. If you have two pages, one page has four images, one page is simple black and white content. Which page will be more attractive to you? The first page with more images, right? Because adding the images improves the visibility of a page, improves the representation of a particular page. So it is important to upload images, but it should not be that you have more images and less content, because users are there to read content. So content and images should be used in a balanced way. Okay. Point number one when it comes to images. Point number two is you have to add alt text. Now this is something that you have to tell the programmer कि भाई इमेज आप डाल रहे हो तो इस इमेज का कुछ प्रोग्रामिंग में जाके ऑल टेक्स्ट डालो एंड देन शो मी दैट व्हाट ऑल टेक्स्ट यू आर एडिंग. फॉर एग्जांपल, if you are uploading an image of PV Sindhu in a Olympics article, then you should write PV Sindhu Indian badminton player, right? Or badminton player, or fourth ranking badminton player, whatever you want to write, you have to search on Google Trends. PV Sindhu has a lot of adjectives. She is an Indian badminton player. She has fourth number international ranking. She has two medals for India. Has won two medals for India in Olympics. So you have a lot of things that can be written for that image. So you have to go on Google Trends and you have to find out the trending keywords, and then you have to add that in the alt text. For example, People are searching for number of medals PV Sindhu has bagged for India in Olympics. So in the alt text, you have to write PV Sindhu slash 2 Olympic medals for India, right? So this will be the most appropriate alt text for this particular image. Okay. Now, next, next is internal linking. Now, this is something that I have shown you, I have demonstrated you in the last class that it is important to internally link your pages with each other. Now, why it is important to internally link your pages with each other? Because you want to improve the visibility of the website. Because as a digital marketing manager, you know that 1 or 2 pages of your website are more famous as compared to other pages, right? Only 1 or 2 pages are getting the maximum traffic. But as a manager, you want to increase the traffic on all the web pages. So how will you do that? If you connect the most famous page with the least famous page of your website, you are doing the effort to increase the traffic on the least famous page. Are you understanding what I'm telling you? For example, your website has 1,000 pages. From that 1,000 pages, only 10 pages are getting most of the traffic. Now, your task is to improve the ranking of the rest of 990 pages that you have. All you have to do is you have to link those 10 famous pages with the least famous pages internally. Internal linking is important. This is the first point why internal linking is important. Now, second point is why internal linking is important is because the crawlers, the medium through which they move from one page to another page is through hyperlinks. Okay, so for example, this is one page, this is second page. If they are not connected to each other, crawler will go to some other page. They will not come to this page. If these two pages are connected to each other through hyperlinks, then crawler will come to this page. From hyperlink, crawler will go to the second page, and accordingly, they will move from one page to another and they will cover your whole website, right? So these are the two important uh, aspects of internal linking. That means linking your own website pages to each other to improve the visibility, to improve the traffic, to improve the ranking of your website in search engine optimization. Okay, now we are starting with off-page optimization. Okay, now what is off-page optimization? It is about everything that doesn't happen directly on your website. As I have told you, off-page means something which is off the page, something which is not directly visible on your page. Off-page SEO is about, among other things, link building, social media, and local SEO. In other words, generating traffic to your site and making your business appear like the real deal it is, right? So in off-page SEO, the only thing that we are interested in is building links with other websites. Now, the first thing that we are going to understand is brand awareness and link building. Creating brand exposure, trust, and brand awareness. Okay, link are the glue that keep the web together. Search engines use links to determine how valuable a piece of content or a particular site is. Getting quality links has always been a great tactic if you are serious about ranking. Okay, so let me give you an example. Okay, for example, if you are reading a management article on the official website of IIM Ahmedabad, which is the topmost institution when it comes to management studies, right? And in that article, they have given a link from Suresh Gangra University, right? When you click on that particular link, which is in an article of IIM Ahmedabad, and you are redirected towards Suresh Ganviha University. If SDVU is successful in doing that, then definitely the ranking of SEO is going to increase. Why? Because everybody who is interested in management is reading the website of IIM Ahmedabad. Everybody, right? So, for example, 100 people are reading this article. It is a good probability that at least 50% people will click on that link and will go to SGU, right? Now, this connection, this link building with IIM Ahmedabad is not easy. Why it is not easy? Because it is the highest authoritative website. If they are writing an article, they will either link it with a government website or with a big corporate's website or with anything which is more authoritative. So, link building becomes very difficult with authoritative websites because the quality of the links, right? The quality of the links of your website will define the rank of your website when it comes to off page optimization, right? So, uh, why we are building links with authoritative websites, because they are getting maximum amount of traffic, right? If you have to read something about MBA program or something, you will either go to Harvard or go to IIM website or go to maybe some MIT website, right? You will not, maximum people do not know about another other universities. But if in those three articles, if in Stanford University you read an article on management and a link of IIM Ahmedabad is given, so people over the world who are interested in management can go to the website of IIM Ahmedabad, right? So that's why link building is important. For link building, you have to have brand awareness. People should know your brand. You should have great visibility everywhere, right? For example, if the brand awareness, the classic examples of brand awareness that I'm using nowadays is White Hat Junior, Byju's, Chumbak.com, right? These are the websites which are very small startups, but because they have started a very rigorous campaign on social media, they have become famous overnight. So this is, we should take lessons from them on how to improve your brand awareness, right? So this is the first thing. Higher your brand has a awareness, more possibilities of link building will be there. For example, I can assure you that if Byju's is writing an article, everybody wants to link with that article who is in online coaching, right? Because if you think about online coaching, Byju's is the only word that comes into your mind because it is everywhere. It is on your Facebook, it is on your mobile, it is on your Instagram, everywhere Byju's. It is even on TV, right? IPL was sponsored, the main sponsor was Byju's. So it is everywhere. Brand awareness is very high. So every online coaching institute would want to build a link on Byju's website so that they will expect that, because Byju's is getting maximum traffic for the potential customers who want to take on online coaching, can have a chance that, some traffic will come to their website. But why Byju's will do that? Because all are their competitors. So that's why link building is very difficult. Okay. Now the next thing is social media. Social media helps to a certain extent. It is not essential for ranking well in search engines. It does, however, give you a unique opportunity to get in touch with customers and potential visitors. So when we talk about your social media presence, that doesn't define your off uh, page ranking. But if your web page has a good connectivity with a Facebook page or the Instagram page, it affects your connectivity. मतलब आप Facebook पे कैसा कर रहे हो वो उससे आपकी रैंकिंग इफेक्ट नहीं होगी, लेकिन अगर आपकी वेबसाइट फेसबुक पेज इंस्टाग्राम पेज से अच्छी तरह कनेक्टेड है, सारे वेब पेजेस कनेक्टेड हैं, connected कैसे होंगे? In a web page you will see a symbol of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just click on that and you can go to their official social media page, right? So सोशल मीडिया पे परफॉर्मेंस अफेक्ट नहीं करेगी, पर वेबसाइट की सोशल मीडिया से कनेक्टिविटी अफेक्ट करेगी आपकी रैंक, ठीक है? सो दैट इज व्हाई सोशल मीडिया is also a very important part of search engine optimization. Next point is local SEO, right? Now, what is local SEO? Local SEO is essential if your business is locally oriented. For local businesses, part of off-page SEO is really in-person SEO. Word of mouth marketing plays a big role in getting people to your business. So why local SEO is important? See, first of all, if you have a local business and you are competing with your local people who are there also available online, the first thing that you have to do is we have a Google business directory. So you have to go out there and register yourself. Once you register yourself, you will be visible online as a directory. You know, if somebody is searching for a particular thing, as a directory your business name will be available. So it is very important to register with Google. So let me show you how your name will be visible if you register yourself on a local SEO in Google Business Directory. Just give me a moment, I'm opening a tab. Nearest. So, okay, I'm stop sharing this and okay. So I hope this page is visible to you now. I have searched for nearest salon, right? So I am a customer, I want a haircut, and I am looking for the nearest salon which is nearest to me, right? Now I am sitting here in Seascape. This is where my home is. And when I say nearest, so the internet is going to pick up my current location and the Google is going to show me the nearest uh, salon which are nearest to my home, right? So as you can see, Fayaz Salon, KGN Hair Salon, Tangerine, the Boutique Salon, right? If I click on View All, right? So I will get a detailed view with their, location, with their, with the distance from my place, it will be visible to me. Even the opening and closing hours, the contact number, they will also be visible to me, right? So we have headmasters, we have रॉक सीजर सलून, ये जितने भी सलून्स के नाम यहाँ पे आते हैं वो कहाँ से आते हैं? वो आते हैं गूगल बिजनेस डायरेक्टरी, right? So if you have a small business, even if you have a very small toy shop or a cloth shop, it is okay to add your name in the Google directory because sometimes people search for these things like nearest whenever they type nearest. So from your current location, they are going to show you the nearest location which is there, from your place. So, for example, I'm new in Jaipur. I'm sitting in railway station and I want to go to a beauty parlor or a salon. I can easily find a salon which is near me. I can go onto the website also. So there are features on Google directory through which you can add your website, web address. You can mark yourself on Google Maps also, and you can check the rating also. These are the ads. Sizzling Scissors, Vaishali Nagar and Arna Saloon. These are the ads that will be visible to me. If you go down, these are the genuine results. फयाज सलून घर के पास में है मेरे, और रात को 10 बजे तक है, और इसका रेटिंग भी अच्छा है. ठीक है. सो इस तरीके से आई कैन easily check it. So this is the first thing that you need to do when you are going for off-page search engine optimization, because you have to fight with your local competitors also. अभी एक सलोन है जयपुर में. What this salon has to do with a Delhi salon? दिल्ली वाले सलोन से तो उसका कोई कंपटीशन ही नहीं है ना, because the salon which is in Jaipur has only the potential customers who are living in Jaipur. And salon in Delhi has only a potential customer who are living in Delhi, right? So they are not competing with each other. But this Fayaz salon and this KGN hair salon, they both are fighting with each other, क्योंकि दोनों मेरे घर के पास में है और दोनों की रेटिंग बहुत अच्छी है, right? So these two are fighting with each other. So when you talk about off-page optimization, you have to make sure that you are, competing with your local competitors also, local business partners also. Whatever the names that are visible to you on maps or on these kind of a directory can only be visible if you register yourself on Google Business Directory, which is absolutely free of cost. You do not have to pay anything, right? You will be visible on the map also. I mean, if I want to reach Fayasano, I can open my Google Maps and I can easily reach there, right? If I want to read the rating, I can read the rating also. Opening hours are also written, and they have a website also, right? अभी एक salon है, उसकी website है, मतलब अच्छा salon, ठीक है? So these are the things that you should keep in mind when you are going for off-page optimization. Let's go back to the slide. Okay. Yes. So we were talking about off-page SEO. Now, the next thing, the final step after off-page SEO and on-page SEO is monitor the ranking and keep updating the content. That means you have to monitor the ranking. If you are able to make a position on the first page, that doesn't mean it is lifelong. It can change within 14 days. Because I have told you that Google algorithm keep on updating every 14 days. So after 14 days, your ranking can go down or go up. So ऐसा नहीं करना है कि आपने एक पेज का एसईओ कर दिया और आप उसको भूल गए साल भर के लिए. No, you have to on your calendar every 14 days. You have to check. You have to mark in your calendar and check that whether what is the ranking of your website at today's date on a particular keyword, right? Whether it has gone up or whether it has gone down. So SEO is not one-time activity. This is not one-time activity. That's why you have a SEO analyst as a permanent position in various digital marketing firms. Because SEO takes time. एंड इट इज अ फुल टाइम जॉब. आप किसी को हायर करके कंसल्टेंसी को उसको छोड़ नहीं सकते. If you are hiring a digital marketing consultancy as a business, you have to continue with it for all the time because this is a full time process. If you have opened a social media Facebook page, उस पे एक दिन दो दिन पोस्ट डालने से कुछ नहीं होगा. Daily you have to keep on updating it. Daily you have to do changes in your website so that if you have a particular ranking, you are able to persist that ranking, maintain that ranking, and you are obviously doing the efforts all the time to increase the rank, right? So SEO is not one time activity. You need to keep updating your content, keep creating new content on regular basis. If you don't monitor ranking and update your content, you may not be able to maintain your ranking. So you should be very alert on what is your ranking right now, what is your ranking after 14 days, if it is going down, why it is going down, what are the problems in the website or web page. You have to find out. Then you have to again do an effort to increase the ranking. So this is a full time process and this is a long term process. There are many tools which are available which will help you monitor the ranking of your website. Tools like SEO Profiler, Semrush.com, Web CEO can be used for monitor the ranking, right? So this is WooRank.com. This is a screenshot of WooRank.com, and we have checked the ranking of this particular website, and we got that the ranking of this website is 69, right? So you have to install any online platform like this and you have to keep on checking कि मेरा अभी रैंकिंग कहाँ पे है. तो हमने यहाँ पे ज्ञान विहार का रैंकिंग चेक किया था. तो ज्ञान विहार का रैंकिंग कितना है? Organic ranking search engine optimization में it is 69, right? So you have to keep on checking it again and again, and then you have to find out that what is the current ranking of your website. So I'm just sharing the screen. Give me a moment. So let me tell you that most of the websites which show you the ranking of a particular thing, they are actually paid websites. You know, there are very less websites if you want to uh, check the ranking of your website. There are very few websites that give you this chance to check your ranking for free, right? So I'm opening this wooran.com and it is asking a lot of information. But one work of advice is that never give them your credit card number because they can deduct money from your account every month and you won't be able to realize it. So never share your credit card number if you're not sure that you are going to use this tool. Yeah, so here they are asking my credit card information. So I cannot show the demonstration right now. So, but this is a screenshot that I can show you at this moment of time that this is a screenshot of wooran.com where we can easily find out the ranking of the website. As you can see in the slide, you can find the website reviews also, you can find the keyword tool also, and You can find a lot of data about the particular website if you become the paid member of that particular website, right? So this is how you check the ranking. Once you work for a digital marketing firm or you are a digital marketing manager, you have to suggest your company these tools to take the paid membership of these tools, which are very critical for SEO. You have to suggest them. You have to make a budget and you have to give them. So you have to, for example, Google Trends is free of cost. But if you want to go for SEO audit, then these tools which do SEO audit, they are paying you, right? So, for example, in SEO audit, we have learned about raventools.com and SEOoptimizer.com. They both are paid, right? For example, you want to go for competitive research. In competitive research, SpyFu is something which is paid platform. If you use the free version of that particular website, you only get limited results, right? So it is very important to make a budget as a digital marketing manager. And whatever we have learned in this SEO process, we have learned a lot of online platforms. You can search it online also. It is not like this is the complete Bible. No, it is not like that. You can search it uh, as per your convenience. You can choose the software that you want to recommend it to your company, make a budget, make a requisition, and tell them to take membership or paid membership of these companies so that you can successfully complete the SEO process, right? Because SEO process is something that takes time, and for 3 4 months you will be using these online platforms. So for these you need resources, right? So I have shown you a lot of resources. I have shown you a lot of demonstration in this SEO class. I hope you will remember it. If you want to ask anything, you can ask me right now. Any confusion, any problem? Okay. Thank you so much for joining. I am ending the class now.